This is Gerald Johan van Waas. Here in this video I will provide you some relatively well understandable words that are translated into a formation process. It's about time that I have some examples there. So here they are: WAL'L, 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 and WILL. Let's analyze how we can see that the directions of the letters points you in the direction of a certain form or a content that fits to these words. Okay, let's go with WAL'L. I will have my scheme as a guiding background, which I will explain what I will see there and what I will see in my vision of projections of letters in the world where I pinpoint the letters, and then I will combine them and show you how they create a certain direction of your mind into a certain formation process. And that was the basis of my theory in the first place, and I will come back to it now. And I have three regions: the spatial region, the timing region, and the context region, which gives you a different reasoning also. It gives you a different perspective, it gives you a different emphasis, where the pinpointing in space is very much trying to find as quickly as possible a physical form. In the second region you will try to find as quickly as possible the timing, so in which region that the timing is, and which that kind of or things that need timing to express themselves, or the context that brings the context back together so that we know how things hang together. These are the three regions that will guide us. The three levels of each region are the center points, the formation region, so where something is already developing further, and then the limits, of course, until where you can't go much further. And the order also, center, formation, limit, is a kind of puzzle that you can read actually quite quickly if you do that a lot of times. So we have, of course, L is in the second region of form, the formation of a form. The O is the formation also, but then in the timings, and the W at the end of a formation, so where the formations is already progressing sideways, and you see that on top. You see the red button there, that's the region of the W, where things are getting aside, outwardly, like the W. The O is a region where it's lifted out as the moment, where the moment in which you define something a bit larger or smaller. And then you have the L as a formation, which is formed in two parts. So it mostly is a kind of irregular form, so it follows the irregularity, which it will do in these letters. So then with the directions to it, the O, so you lift it out horizontally, and you lift it out vertically, and you lift it out diagonally. Sorry for now then a small confusion in a word. Sometimes I'm thinking already at something else, or I use it automatically a different word. I don't know how that comes. It happens. And then the L is that where you can see it's forming itself, and of course it will create some form, or will follow what is forming itself in its irregularity. The O is, of course, a process from one point to another. So the L's are followed from one position as quickly as possible. The second region always follows two parts, the beginning and the end, and it follows where it will go to. But it will go to the momentual moments. The W is at that top region. So it's actually, it is, you can compare it to a diagonal direction, but this diagonal is decreasing in energy, so it will go to a lower level, it will go to a slower thing, it will move away. That kind of actions can be expected in the W. So here I express it as going away, so the lines or the vibrations or so on, so at the end they will fade away as a little bit, as you can associate them in such a way. So how we will have the combinations of the three letters. Before I do that, there's of course a fourth letter, which is another O, that you see there. The O is, if it's a double O, you have of course a larger region, so also the larger regions will come to it, so the larger connection points, the larger moments. So it's really from one moment to another, from one condition to another. It's in this environment of conditions that the WAL'L will create itself in a form. So let's now create the form. Put it back down so that I can put the form on top. We'll start with the W, just once. The O's on top. So because the O's, it's not just randomly. I see what's happening. I see the regions. I see the three moments that something is happening, and there I will focus them. You see it's fading away, and there on top where the changes happen, I will put a formation process on. I express the formation process there. And in losing itself, as you say, it's losing away, it's also happening in the form. The form is first compact and is losing itself and opening itself up, and that's when I double hit here at the right, you can see it even more clear. That's the WAL'L. It's light. It's getting lighter in compound as well. You can immediately recognize the WAL'L. Let's go to WAL'L. There I have the letter A, L, and W. A is the center position. L is the formation of the form, of the shape, or following the shape. And the W is, it's going away. It's losing itself. You know that already. At the edges. And I have here the underlying structure, which is losing itself up. So what can I use from that? The A is in the one center. It's in one dimension. And when I project it where it is in the when I really project it to the next form, like in the towards the L, although A is about horizontal, you can associate it with the horizontal plane, so it is getting more and more a horizontal foundation. The projection itself is also only in one point, and it's one point from one point to the next. I make the projection upwardly as a focus, so that I can see immediately from here in one point. I put here the one point there and see where the form is made and is expressing itself. Of course, this WAL'L will continue to become bigger and bigger. It won't take much time before realizing what is really happening here on the surface from A, and on the different spots. This WAL'L will build up further and further and further. That's how you can sense WAL'L very well in points that build up and diminish itself further and further and further on the on that expression of where it is forming itself, that wall, and where it builds up. Let's go to WAL'L. Here a little bit of interpretation will help, so if you don't express it well, it will not be so clear, so I hope I express it well enough. So the L is also in the form, so it will follow the form. The A will be in the formation of, not of space this time, but of timing, so it will be about timings, and the W is the timings that go further and further away. It will extend itself at the borders of its formation, and I will have to combine these three. Of course, this W, you know, it is this diminishing and going away and away. This is the kind of tension that you have. So how will I combine this with W, E and L in that combination? So let's build that up. The A is now the emphasis, not to A, the points where you have a change. No, it is in the timings that you have. There are certain timings. You have one timing, another timing, another timing, and these timings you see, they are changing a little bit, going away, going to the side, in a way almost like you're going to lose the grip until where you can sense it, and this will be combined with L, or the formation. So I will add a formation, the forming of shapes on top of it, of where this diminishing will be expressed. And if you just follow this going away, you have this kind of expression of forms in three timings. But of course they will, as we know, of course, WAL'L in different expressions, the WAL'L will have a certain range of, it goes from here to there, and this here to there will also increase in volume. It's a bit like the well which is losing something. It's water. It is like wet water that you can see in it. The well is also something that is going well, so it is progressing, it is increasing, it is going away, but with this amount of energy which is decreasing in size, in a way that it is decreasing away in space, let's say. It is the power is has to find a different way to find a way how it can be expressed within a certain region. No, I don't think my expression in words is so good this time, but you will understand, of course, where the well is expressed and where it is expressed and how it is expressed in forms. That's a little bit more easy to understand it well. The wheel also needs a little bit more explanation, because the E is not a very easy sound to explain. It's in the last category of context. And the context, I think I have a very good positions there that expresses the E. And the E is this insertion of an idea that brings together actually more context. The context. It is a little bit in three parts. And these three parts I have to explain a little bit as well, how this E performs. You have the constant running course in the background, which is like the surface on which we run our course, in which we are expressing everything. It's the surface on which all that we measure upon it. It's like the surface of the earth in a way. It's the surface of our focus and so on. This is the running course. This is in the background. It will deal with that in the background and will fit onto that. The second part that matters is of course also the compensation, because it needs a compensation. That's the red arrow there. It's this compensation towards also that it will work. So it finds something which is a bit off the system, but it will work in the system. So it will make an insertion with a kind of pattern that will benefit all the regions, that will fit to all the regions as well. So that you can insert the same thing in the placement, in the timing, and as a concept, as a general concept. That's more or less how you have to realize the E. I think that sums it up very well. And how do you see that then on the W? So it's W, E, and L. First W and then the E. Here I have it already. It is this energy which is going away with the W. Energy in timings. The timings go away. So you're losing actually a little bit the process with the W. So here it is expressed as going away. So it's just a way of expression. So what will the E do? It will find the compensation. It will find the insertion so that it will be able to indeed also compensate, and this will fit on the general evolution, the general timing, the general placements and so on, so that it will fit as a pattern and that it can cope with it. So this going away will be compensated by the will. So instead of that the energy is going away, thanks to the will, the W's energy will not fade away or not build go smaller and smaller and smaller, or loosen itself or whatever. No, we can continue because we find the pattern with the will. That's the way how you can understand it. And also here are the three parts. It's the compensation part, you have the insertion part, and this based upon the general running course that we have, of course. So we always have in the letter E 3 parts, of which 2 parts are actually the real E. And the first part is the idea, that's the dot on the E. It's the idea, the impulse of realization. Oh no, I have an idea, I want to insert it, I have the impulse, I have the idea, I know what to change, and then you insert the idea according to its area, so with a pattern that works, while dealing, and that's in the background, with all the ongoings of things. And actually it's very well described by the Japanese letter E in the 2 versions. The katakana version you see there as well, how you design it. It's this slash, this I go for the change. It's like the slash of the sword. I will go for the change and I will insert it and I will start the process and I know what to do. I find the right application. That's the E. That's how you can understand it. The other one is that as well. It's this impulse. And it's this insertion, and it's this insertion of the new idea. You can recognize it even in the Japanese script, as you can see. So you have actually this weak force, and with the compensation and the insertion of an idea that I know. Okay, now this one I can perform, so that I can perform my will. So that this energy will not go away, so that I will be able to keep the attention steady. And with the L to it, of course, I give it a form. So it is actually saying like, okay, I give this a shape. This is the formation by force of will, as a matter of speaking. This is just an expression of where more or less it is. It's not as a formation, it's not about forms, but it's, I hope you understand what's going on based upon what the letters mean and how I express them with my explanations. I mean, I hope this made it already a little bit more clear. I know that a WAL'L probably can be better. I had something else in mind which was more clear. but it's I keep it to what I have now. I think the four different words, yeah, were already expressed in a way that it became closer to the letter combinations, meaningful meanings behind it. I hope that I showed them better to you. Anyhow, this was Gerald Johan van Waardegen. There's a website, there's some books, there's some Facebook page, there's a list of words. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Bye bye.